Assalamualaikum dan salam tuan dan puan-puan sekalian. Nama saya Mahira daripada Persatuan Kanser Kebangsaan Malaysia dan saya adalah moderator untuk sesi pada petang ini. Pertama sekali, saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada anda semua kerana bersama-sama saya untuk belajar tentang tajuk kita hari ini, iaitu kenali perilaku anak melalui permainan. Sebelum kita bermula, saya ingin mengingatkan penonton sekalian, kalau ada apa-apa soalan sepanjang perbincangan kita hari ini, sila letakkan soalan anda di ruang komen di bawah video ini ya. Jadi, hari ini saya disertai Puan Malini. Beliau merupakan seorang kaunselor yang berdaftar dan telah berada dalam bidang ini lebih daripada 10 tahun. Hai Malini.
Hai Mahira, terima kasih kerana sudi menjemput saya pada hari ini untuk berbincang tentang masalah perilaku anak melalui permainannya. Saya juga berharap agar perkongsian hari ini akan bermanfaat kepada ibu bapa untuk mengenali anak mereka secara lagi mendalam. Okey?
Terima kasih Pak Malini
pada hari
sudi
ini.
bersama. Okey.
Okey. Okey. Okey, sekarang Mahira boleh tengok gambar yang ditunjukkan Okey. Sekarang mari kita berbincang tentang mengenai main atau bermain. Okey? Apa yang Mahira fikir bila saya cakap perkataan main?
Nampak daripada gambar ni macam seronok saja, ramai orang, ada dengan kawan-kawan sekali, benda yang best lah.
Oh, sangat colourful
Ya, warna-warni sana.
Kalau tengok gambar yang pertama tu, boleh tak ingat masa kita orang kecil atau masa zaman kanak-kanak tu yang selalu bermain? Boleh ingat?
Ya, biasanya ramai orang itu main kejar-kejar, sama-sama kawan-kawan, adik-beradik, saudara mara.
Dan biasanya pada waktu petang yang selalu kita orang akan pergi taman, pergi padang, kita akan bermain. Okey?
Ya. Yep.
Okey. Dan bila saya letak gambar ni, slide ni, biasanya orang akan cakap seronok. Tetapi segelintir lah saya kata. Okey, ibu bapa akan cakap biar membazirkan masa. Okey, mereka akan kata membuang masa lah. Anak mereka tak belajar. Betul tak? Pernah dengar? Most of the parents, mereka akan cakap
Ada jugalah.
Ada juga. Yes, okey. Perkataan play atau kita kata bermain adalah perkataan yang sangat mudah namun perkataan yang sangat mendalam. It's very deep. Okey, ia membawa kepada tindakan di mana pergerakan kanak-kanak punya penggerakan, kita kata body movement, okey, gerak badan dan ekspresi muka iaitu face expression. Okey, mula dinyatakan dengan cara yang benar. So bila mereka bermain tu, kita boleh lihat betapa gembiranya mereka, betapa aktifnya seseorang kanak-kanak itu. Mereka akan rasa bersemangat tau. Kadang-kadang dari pagi itu rasa macam boring, tapi bila dah petang tu, the moment like okay, kita kata okay, it's time, masa untuk kita bermain tu, boleh tengok excitement. So mereka kanak-kanak biasanya akan gembira sangat. So bila mereka gembira tu, ini yang kita boleh lihat. Perlakuan mereka berubah, tingkah laku mereka berubah, rias muka mereka berubah. Kadang-kadang bila sedih, then all of a sudden kata, okay, time untuk main boleh pilih nak main apa. Boleh tengoklah dia orang akan excited dan mereka menunjukkan muka yang sangat gembira. Okay? So, biar kita tengok lagi satu slide. Okay, ini ada satu gambar ni. Okay? Sekarang Mahira, apa yang boleh Mahira fikir bila melihat gambar yang ditunjukkan saya ni?
Ni macam objek-objek kecil boleh telan ni. Tercekik. Sebab dia kecil.
Dalam gambar ni nampak kecil sangat tapi dia sebenarnya adalah permainan lah. Okay? Ada benda-benda kecil untuk kanak-kanak bermain juga. Okay. Kat sini kita hanya lihat luaran saja. Betul. Kalau Mahira tengok tu, Mahira tadi cakap macam benda-benda kecil, rasa kecil kan. Tapi ini adalah luaran. Apa yang kita lihat dari luaran? Okay, mainan biasa. It's normal toys. Okay, budak-budak sedang main. Tetapi ada maksud yang mendalam. Okay, so like orang kata deep meaning untuk gambar yang ditunjukkan. Di mana kita biasanya tak dapat lihat dari outside. Okay, dan kita pun tak tahu. Okay, so saya pergi kepada next slide yang menunjukkan lagi mendalam. Okay, apa yang kita boleh lihat dalam gambar ni. Okay, okay, beza tak bila saya tunjuk gambar ni?
Oh, ya. Ni lagi banyak maklumat nak faham cara kanak-kanak main.
Ya, ini adalah sebenarnya kalau secara mendalam, okay, cara kanak-kanak mendekati atau respon kepada main. Macam mana mereka respon bila mereka start main? Bila mereka mula bermain. Kita sebagai ibu bapa, kita hanya lihat dari luar. Okay? Kalau kita tengok kat sini tu, dia ada perlakuan fizikal, dalam pembangunan sosial, dia ada juga emosi, dia ada juga membenarkan mereka belajar daripada kesilapan dan membentuk hubungan. Okay? Tetapi ada lagi satu cara yang boleh kita observe kepada kanak-kanak, iaitu mereka akan cuba mengambil giliran. Kalau dia bermain dengan kawan-kawan, okay, ini turn saya sekarang, next turn saya, kamu punya turn. So ini mereka akan cuba mengambil giliran. Okay, mereka akan hubungkan antara punca dengan kesan. Okay, ini diorang pandai tau, mereka akan kait rapatkan punca dengan kesan. Okay, dan kita juga lupa kadang-kadang ni budak-budak akan main, tapi sebenarnya mereka juga memahami bagaimana untuk merasa ataupun bagaimana orang lain merasa, how other people are feeling. Okay, dan bertindak. Mereka akan bertindak, okay, ikut giliran, jangan nak tipu. So mereka akan macam very orang kata betul-betul mereka akan faham tau, bila masa main tu they be very strict. Dia orang tu macam tajam je pemikiran mereka. Okay, so lagi satu juga, terdapat banyak cara yang berbeza untuk melakukan sesuatu perkara atau menyelesaikan masalah. Kalau saya nak cakap dalam bahasa Inggeris, is like problem solving skill lah. Mereka akan pandai untuk menyelesaikan any problem. Okay, especially bila masa mereka sedang bermain. Main bola sepak ke, atau kalau kita ada permain dalam rumah pun, okay, mereka membina apa-apa pun, kita boleh lihat secara mendalam. Mereka akan fikir macam mana nak selesaikan sesuatu perkara. Okay, dan juga terdapat banyak cara untuk mencari penyelesaian. Seperti yang saya kata tu, diorang akan fikir juga macam mana nak habiskan game ni. For example, diorang main board game ke, main chess ke, main carom board ke, boleh tahu kanak-kanak sekarang pun diorang akan ambil masa berfikir sebelum mereka bermain. Sebelum mereka start diorang punya time untuk, game punya time. Okay? So kat sini juga saya nak bagi tahu kemahiran berfikir, kemahiran menyelesaikan sesuatu masalah, kemahiran mereka berkomunikasi antara satu sama lain. Okay, kadang-kadang mereka akan berkomunikasi dengan diri mereka sendiri untuk memahami tentang mahinan mereka. Okay, dan lain-lain kemahiran yang kita boleh lihat semasa kanak-kanak bermain. Okay? Okay, next. Kita pergi kepada slide yang lain. Okay. Ada soalan kat sini. Okey, kalau Mahira tengok kat sini, adakah anda tahu bahawa aktiviti yang paling diutamakan oleh anak anda ialah bermain bersama anda? Saya nak bagi tahu budak-budak atau kanak-kanak biasanya diorang akan suka sangat tahu bila diorang punya parents ataupun seseorang lah, anyone, kawan ke atau kakak ke, sesiapa yang nak juga main dengan diorang. Bila tahu, okay, bukan saja main tau, bila sesiapa berdiri tepi diorang, mereka akan tunjukkan diorang punya skill, mereka akan tunjuk excited lah. Mereka tu power sangat, dia very good nak tunjuk action. Tapi sebenarnya itu semua adalah satu perkembangan dalam diri mereka. Kita tidak tahu dari luar kita tak boleh lihat. Tapi bila secara mendalam, bila kita observe, mereka sangat pandai. Okay? Dan kalau Mahira, saya nak bagi tahu, contohnya bila Mahira pergi ke rumah saudara atau kawan, anak-anak yang berada di situ, rumah anak sepupu ke, cousin punya anak ke, akan rasa excited tau bila Mahira cakap, okay, jom kita main hari ni. Nak tak main sama-sama? Pernah tak Mahira rasa macam mana dia orang punya kelakuan bila Mahira offer nak main?
Biasanya memang semua tak sabar nak main. Jom nak main apa? Nak main kejar-kejar. Dia siap. Ada bagi cadangan lagi nak main apa.
Betul kan? Diorang kan excited tau. Tapi
Sangat.
excited tu bukan saja dengan umur sama dengan mereka, tapi mereka akan lagi tunjuk excited dengan bila umur yang lebih tinggi daripada mereka, yang lebih besar lah.
Betul?
Untuk main bersama kanak-kanak ni biasanya merupakan aktiviti pembelajaran yang sangat penting. Okey, untuk ibu bapa ya. Contohnya apabila ibu bapa terlibat dalam permainan kanak-kanak atau bermain, okey, anak-anak dengan mereka, anak-anak mereka lah. Saya boleh katakan kajian menunjukkan perkembangan dan kawalan emosi. Okey, kawalan emosi anak-anak lebih baik berbanding dengan penglibatan, iaitu interaction parents, okey, penglibatan ibu bapa dalam aspek yang lain. Okey, saya nak kata ni kenapa penglibatan ibu bapa sangat penting. Kenapa kita boleh tengok lagi perkembangan anak-anak? Sebab dia membantu perkembangan kanak-kanak secara holistik. Dia memupuk semua skill mereka, skill moral ke, berkomunikasi, berinteraksi dengan orang lain, memahami orang lain. Okay, so ibu bapa mungkin pada sekarang ni kadang-kadang ibu bapa ni mereka busy ke, tak ada masa sangat. Tapi bila mereka mula meluangkan time untuk bermain dengan anak-anak, mereka akan lihat tau perkembangan yang berlaku kepada diri anak-anak mereka. It's totally different. Dia satu perkara yang sangat-sangat bagus dan kanak-kanak akan excited lagi. Macam saya cakap tadi, mereka akan excited bila parents ada dengan bersama mereka. Okay, next kita pergi slide yang seterusnya. Okay, so kalau lihat kat sini macam saya tadi cakap, bila kita observe, kita melihat secara mendalam bila seseorang kanak-kanak itu bermain. Secara jauh tu mungkin parents akan ingat kan, alah dia tengah main kereta je, dia tengah main dengan macam train, tengah main dengan anak patung, kadang-kadang dia pergi tepi pantai, dia main dengan pasir, dia saja je bina rumah. Tapi ada maksud di sebaliknya. Bila seseorang kanak-kanak tu suka sangat terhadap sesuatu permainan, mungkin dia tak suka main anak patung, dia suka main kereta. Okay, kita boleh lihat macam mana permainan tu membantu anak mereka. Okay, kalau saya tunjuk gambar kat sini ya, secara tidak langsung lah, dia akan memupuk kefahaman mereka, understanding kanak-kanak, hubungan sosial, mereka akan cuba bersosial dengan orang yang bersebelahan atau kawan-kawan yang lain. Okay, bila kita start dengan permainan, automatically seseorang kanak-kanak yang pergi ke sekolah pun dia boleh ada hubungan sosial yang bagus dengan orang lain. Dia sangat membantu. Dia juga membantu dalam segi emosi, kita understand anak-anak kita punya emotional need. Okay, kadang-kadang kita tengok dia akan bercakap dengan anak patung dia. Kalau budak-budak perempuan kadang-kadang dia suka cakap dengan anak patung dia. Tapi kalau kita observe, mungkin dia rasa macam kanak-kanak tu rasa bersendirian kot. Mungkin tak ada orang lain yang nak dengar cakap dengan dia. So, as a parents, kita boleh offer tau, tanya, saya tengok you cakap dengan you punya anak patung. Okay, mesti excited ni nak cerita. Boleh tak saya pun nak tahu apa yang you tengah cakap? Let's say it's like, nak share apa dengan anak patung tu. So this is like kita boleh tahu sedikit emosi anak-anak. Okay, memupuk moral dan rohani dan memupuk kreativiti. Like kita bagi mainan logo, okay, atau something yang untuk bagi diorang bina tu, itu akan memupuk kreativiti mereka, menjaga diri. So sebenarnya permainan juga akan membantu kanak-kanak macam mana untuk menjaga diri mereka. Kadang-kadang diorang untuk menjaga keselamatan lah, saya kata kalau diorang nak cross jalan raya ke, atau pergi sesuatu tempat, macam mana nak jaga diri kalau ada orang lain yang datang cakap dengan dia orang. So how to macam mana nak protect diri mereka. So melalui permainan ni kita boleh ajar anak-anak kita. Okay, dan kemahiran fizikal, okay, dia orang akan jadi sangat aktif. Kita boleh tengok macam mana aktifnya kalau seseorang, budak-budak tu nak main bola sepak ke, oh energi mereka sangat bagus. Okay, dan juga kita boleh lihat lagi satu tu, cara mereka berkomunikasi. Macam tadi saya cakap tu, the communication skill tu akan bantu sangat anak mereka kan. Okay, dan next kita pergi. Yes. Okay, next slide ni yang macam saya tunjukkan tadi ni lagi mendalam, saya nak bagi tahu. Okay, dia ada connection. Okay, antara satu sama lain. Okay, iaitu sambungan minda dan badan adalah biologi. Mind dengan body connected to each other. Okay, so ia terjalin dalam otak. It's happen in the, kita punya brain lah, terjalin dalam otak. Apabila kita memahami dan mengesahkan, kita macam admit kanak-kanak punya feeling, perasaan mereka, kanak-kanak akan rasa tak perlu bertindak mengikut perasaan mereka. Mereka akan mula dengan cakap parents. Okay, mulakan dengan cakap parents. Tambahan lagi apabila mereka melihat perasaan mereka difahami. It's like parents, wah, my parents kan bolehlah faham saya punya perasaan. Parents saya tahulah saya ni tak gembira. Parents saya tahu saya ni dalam mood yang sedih. Okay? So dia akan automatically membantu seorang kanak-kanak dari segi diorang punya emosi, diorang punya physical, diorang punya mind. Okay? Mereka juga boleh rasa akan mula belajar melalui perasaan, saya kata empathy. Memahami perasaan orang lain secara mendalam. Okay, bila parents atau orang boleh bermain dengan anak-anak, boleh tahu apa yang anak-anak anda sedang bermain tu, secara langsung kanak-kanak akan rasa, okay, saya punya parents ni tahulah saya punya feeling, tahulah saya buat apa pun parents observe je. Okay, saya bolehlah lepas ni saya tahu nak buat apa. So, diorang akan teliti sangat dengan tingkah laku mereka. Okay? Next. Next slide yang saya nak tunjukkan ni. Yes. Ini yang adalah perkara atau biasanya seorang parents atau sesiapa saja akan tanya bila melihat anak-anak mereka sedang bermain. Okay? So, macam mana kita boleh avoid? Daripada kita bercakap perkara yang dipaparkan. Contohnya, daripada kita tanya, apa yang anda sedang bermain? So, saya rasa it's better kalau kita avoid sikit daripada kita tanya apa yang anak-anak sedang bermain. Okay. Wah, tapak pembinaan? Okay. Apa yang anda sedang bina? Nampak macam taman permainan je. Macam, so bila kita tanya apa, ini yang kanak-kanak ni akan rasa, tanya apa? Okay, susahlah nak cakap apa, saya pun tak tahulah. Mereka akan ambil masa yang sangat lama untuk berfikir. Dan daripada kita tanya perkara seperti ini kita boleh cubalah kita respect anak kita orang punya perasaan, kita menghormati cara mereka bermain, bagaimana kita boleh respect. Okay, bagaimana kita tahu apa yang diorang sedang main, nak curious sikit, nak tanya sikit. Okay, kita boleh guna perkataan seperti yang saya tunjukkan. Saya sedang bertanya-tanya apa yang anda sedang usahakan. Apa yang kamu sedang, boleh tak saya tahu sikit apa yang awak tengah buat? Okay, kelihatan seperti banyak yang berlaku. So much is happening lah. Okay, saya nak tahu juga. Boleh tak share sikit? Wah, ada banyak benda kat sini lah. Macam seronok je. Boleh tak share sikit? Apa yang awak nak buat? So something like kita nak tahu secara mendalam apa yang kanak-kanak tu sedang bermain. Okay. Dan kamu boleh juga tanya, saya perasaan awak sedang membina sesuatu objek lah. Macam ada macam lengkung. Macam sengit benda ni. Macam lain lah benda ni. Apa sebenarnya awak sedang buat ni? So kita akan macam try tanya dekat anak-anak, apa sebenarnya permainan yang mereka main. Kadang-kadang dia ada team tau. Oh, tim yang satu ada patung ni akan berkomunikasi antara satu sama lain. Ada kereta ni, dia akan langgar. Ada kanak-kanak yang selalu main kereta tu langgar saja. Tu accident. Tapi dia ada maksud sebaliknya. Mungkin kanak-kanak tu pernah lihat kemalangan. So dalam ingatan mereka tu, kalau kereta ni selalu accident je. So kita boleh memupuk ataupun kita boleh ajar, okay, cara yang lagi lain yang boleh kita lihat masa anak-anak tu bermain. Yes. Tengok cara lain kalau kita nak berkomunikasi atau berhubung dengan anak kita, anak anda ketika mereka bermain adalah, saya nampak budak tu sedang mengikuti gergasi itu. Apa agaknya yang akan berlaku? Saya tengoklah ada satu benda je lah tengah pegang dekat tangan. Macam tengah follow je. Apa akan berlaku? So kita macam explore sikit, nak panjangkan cara dia bagi tahu dekat kita dia nak main apa. Kita boleh, bila tunjuk gambar ni, Mahira boleh tengok ada budak kecil ni sedang bina rumah. Okay, so kamu boleh tanya, siapa yang akan tinggal dekat rumah yang awak bina tu? Mungkin kanak-kanak tu ada perasaan nak bagi tahu, okay, mungkin saya nak tinggal dengan mak saja, nak bapak saja, ataupun ini saya punya adik-beradik nak tinggal, kakak saya nak tinggal. Kadang-kadang dia tak benarkan orang lain tahu masuk rumah yang dibina tu. So masa ni lah parent tu boleh cuba aja. Sebenarnya tak boleh. Kita kena allow orang lain pun datang secara saudara. Kita tak boleh kata ni rumah saya. Ada juga kanak-kanak mereka selalu bagi tahu, ni rumah saya, ni baju saya. Tapi masa ni lah kita boleh ajar anak-anak tu, kita boleh share dengan orang lain. Barang yang awak ada ni, awak boleh share dengan orang lain. Okay? Dan lagi satu yang boleh rasalah, rasanya apa yang berlaku kalau keluarkan blok dari menara yang awak bina tu. Kadang-kadang budak-budak ni akan bina tau, macam bangunan yang tinggi. So cuba tanya dekat dia, kalau saya keluarkan benda ni apa akan jadi? So tengok excitement dia, macam mana dia nak panjangkan cerita. Kadang-kadang budak-budak ni dia semangat, dia akan start cerita dari awal. Itu saya bina ni, kalau saya keluarkan, nanti dia jatuh. Kalau dia jatuh, saya akan bina semula. So tunggu dia punya excitement tu, it's very good. Okay? Yeah. Okay, kat sini saya nak tanya. Okay, kenapa kadang-kadang kita kita boleh juga boleh gunakan cara perkembangan ni. Okay, lagi satu saya tunjuk gambar kat sini. Okay, kamu boleh tanya berapa orang yang boleh muat dalam kereta yang sedang main. Okay, orang dalam kereta ni nak pergi mana? Okay, mereka nak pergi tempat yang sama ke atau tempat yang lain? Mereka akan pergi sendiri atau bersama orang lain? Okay, ini adalah soalan yang kamu boleh tanya. Okay, untuk kanak-kanak lah. Okay, saya nak bagi tahu juga kat sini kenapa kita tak gunakan soalan why. Kenapa? Daripada kita tanya mereka why, kemungkinan besar ni mereka akan jawab, saya tak tahu, I don't know. Okay, selain tu apabila kita tanya soalan-soalan begini, okay, macam saya tanya, macam previous punya slide saya tanya apa yang awak nak buat, macam tu semua. Soalan yang kita tanya begini, kita akan membantu actually luaskan cara mereka bermain. Kita pun dapat memahami apa tim yang diorang nak main. Tim yang kanak-kanak cuba nyatakan. Okay, contohnya ada tim lah, ambulance memandu ke hospital ke, kita akan jadi, mereka akan excited, saya ni jadi penyelamat, saya bawa ambulance. Siapa yang berada, siapa yang sedang memandu ambulance tu? Saya memandu ambulance sebab saya nak tolong orang lain, saya selamatkan orang lain. Okay, kadang-kadang mereka akan for example, penari yang sedang bersedia untuk menari di atas pentas, excited. Mereka macam mana perasaan awak? Awak ada gambar, ada anak patung ni sedang menari. Macam mana perasaan awak? Ada tak awak akan rasa gementar ke, takut bila awak nak menari atas pentas? So ini akan buatkan anak anda berfikir tau. Okay, Ya, saya rasa kalau saya depan semua orang, saya akan jadi nervous sikit. Saya macam takut lah nak cakap depan orang. Ini adalah time untuk kamu mengajar mereka macam mana, okay, nak kata, to be strong. Kalau mereka pergi mana-mana, jumpa seseorang tu, mereka akan jadi lagi strong. Okay, berdepan dengan orang lain. Contohnya mereka tunjukkan, kalau kanak-kanak yang saya kata special atau kanak-kanak yang mengidap kanser, kadang-kadang mereka akan bermain macam cikgu tengah ajar dekat kelas tau, classroom setting. So kalau gambaran ni semua, kita boleh mengenal, kita boleh fikir sebenarnya kanak-kanak ni rindu, diorang nak belajar dekat kelas. Okay, diorang kan macam berlakon, macam mereka adalah student. Okay, kadang-kadang diorang akan jadi cikgu. So ini adalah pandangan ibu bapa untuk melihat actually apa kanak-kanak ni sedang ada dalam pemikiran mereka bila diorang sedang bermain. Okay, dan saya nak kata ini adalah berkaitan dengan kita punya kanak-kanak kanser. Kita untuk kes ni kita boleh gunakan beberapa objek dari bilik permainan kita untuk memahami dengan lebih mendalam. Kalau since like kita dekat Cancer Society ni, kita ada kanak-kanak yang mengidap kanser. So permainan merupakan satu aset atau perkara yang sangat penting untuk mengenali kanak-kanak ni secara mendalam. It's a very best thing, saya nak kata it's a best thing to understand kita punya kanak-kanak yang mengidap kanser. Sebab kadang-kadang mereka tak luahkan mereka punya perasaan tau. So secara bermain ni, bila kanak-kanak bermain ni, kita boleh tengok cara mereka interact. Kadang-kadang diorang ada message sendiri yang diorang nak bagi tahu. So the observation ni sangat penting bila seorang kanak-kanak tu sedang bermain. Okay, dan saya nak tunjukkan kat sini ya. Dan perkara yang paling penting bila anda bermain dengan anak anda, as a parents, boleh tengok tak excited? Maira boleh tengok gambar yang saya tunjuk kat sini. It's like, wow, the parents is like so like excited, you know. Tengok tu, sekarang saya rasa kadang-kadang budak-budak ni ambil selfie pun diorang akan macam excited tau bila dengan parents diorang. Okay, so mereka akan ketawa, jadi kelakar, menjadi kreatif dan juga suka bermain. Okay, ini yang saya nak bagi tahu. Okay, so kita punya reference untuk hari ni.
Okay. Terima kasih Puan Malini kerana sudi berkongsi ilmu tentang subjek yang sangat menarik ini. Sekarang kita ada sesi soal jawab sikit daripada penonton. Okay, kita ada beberapa soalan untuk Puan Malini. Yang pertama, ada soalan daripada seorang ibu bapa ni. Macam mana kita boleh menggunakan teknik-teknik ini apabila ada lebih daripada satu kanak-kanak? Jadi katakan mungkin ada kembar ke atau adik-beradik. Jadi bukan seorang saja. Macam mana kita nak aplikasikan?
Okay, biasanya dia ada anak yang more than satu kanak-kanak Okay, kebiasaannya agak sukar untuk kita memahami apa yang kanak-kanak bermain. Bukan senang tau. Dari luaran macam saya kata tu. Dari luaran tu nampak lain je. Diorang sedang main dengan kumpulan. Okay, tetapi bila kita boleh cadangkan, saya boleh katakan, lebih dari seorang kanak-kanak yang ada anak anda, kamu boleh cadangkan tema untuk bermain hari ini. Okay, hari ini kita mainlah dengan maybe hidupan dekat laut. Okay, hidupan dalam laut tu diorang akan datang dengan ikan. So that theme. So theme ni, tema adalah sangat penting. Kalau sebagai ibu bapa ni kita boleh cadangkan dekat anak-anak, boleh tak hari ni kita buat theme main dekat hutan? Binatang-binatang yang berada di dalam hutan. So ni akan macam anak-anak yang berada semua pun akan excited. Mereka kan cuba tunjukkan skill yang mereka ada tu. So ini adalah salah satu. So bila kamu ada lebih dari seorang anak, kamu lihat macam mana susah nak handle. Satu nak main ni, satu nak main ni. Kadang-kadang satu permainan tu diorang nak gaduh. So keluarkan tema. Okay, esok semua excited kita nak main. Kita nak main tentang pergi taman permainan. Okay, apa yang ada dekat taman permainan? Apa yang kamu boleh rasa? Dan lagi satu, okay, hari ni punya tema kita pergi taman bunga. Pergi garden. So kanak-kanak ni akan macam menunjulkan diorang punya skill dengan keluarkanlah barang yang sama, ada tema dekat garden. Okay, ada bunga, ada kasut lah and all this. Kadang-kadang ada tanah liat. Mereka kata, okay hari ni tema bunga-bunga. Pandai tak? Tengok siapa boleh buat dengan plasticine yang tanah liat. Mereka akan buat tau. That means kita macam cadangkan sesuatu dan mereka akan try to do. Okay? Dan lagi satu, kalau kadang-kadang diorang tak suka kalau kita orang bagi tahu tema, saya tak nak buat benda lain. Okay, kita tanya diorang. Okay, hari ni nak buat apa esok? So kadang-kadang kalau diorang kata tak adalah, esok kita orang nak main macam pergi dekat angkasa. It's like, okay, nak naik atas tengok macam mana, nak main dengan kapal terbang, tengok macam mana. So tema tu adalah sangat penting. Kalau kamu nak lagi senang mengawasi anak anda, kamu cuba plan untuk team yang nak main.
Okay, faham. Terima kasih.
Parents akan biarkan, lah, mainlah nak apa. Tapi kalau untuk kamu nak observe tu susah sikit. So it's better untuk cadangkan macam okay hari ni kita main hidupan liar di hutan, kita main dekat taman. Okay, kita main dekat dapur. Dekat dapur ada barang apa? Okay, kita boleh buat macam tu Anything? Ada lagi? Okay.
Jadi saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Puan Malini. Semoga kita ada peluang lagi untuk berbincang tentang topik-topik menarik yang lain, ya.
Okay, terima
kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you. Jadi, sesi seterusnya akan diadakan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Jadi, bagi mereka yang ingin bersama saya, bolehlah stay on. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. The topic, Understand Your Child Through Play. This is the English session of the talk. The Malay session was held earlier on. And if you prefer the Mandarin session, so before I begin, I'd like to remind our audience that if you do have questions, feel free, and we'll try to have a look at it at the end of the. So, this topic is not just relevant for parents who have children, all parents with children that hope to understand them better. With that, please welcome our guest speaker for this evening, Ms. Sri Ramsita. Some brief intro. She is our very own play therapist from National Cancer Society Malaysia and plays a very important role in engaging with children who have cancer. So, Ms. Sita, you may share your screen and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mahira, and thank you everyone for making your time to be with us today. And let me just share my screen here. Okay, so yeah, today's topic is going to be on understanding your child through play. And before I start, I would like you, Mahira, or the audience as well, to do something. When you see this word or you hear the word play, what comes in your mind, Mahira?
I think of play as in an activity that's very fun, that's involving friends, I would say, involving toys. And I like to play still, even now as an adult.
It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's good, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that we when you think or see this word play, does anything else come into mind?
Playground. A lot of kids.
Playground.
Yep.
Okay, so basically it's something fun that we always look at, right? And being in a society that we are in, most of the time play is considered like, okay, we can only play after exams, we can only do this we can play after this certain important event is over, because when it comes to learning and play, the focus will be on learning, right? Or when it comes like in this matter, we are here with this with Cancer Society, where we are dealing with kids with cancer, it will be more of, oh, the recovery period, they shouldn't be playing, or they should just be resting. You know what I mean? So the play goes in a word where it's just a waste of time. It's not going to help the child or even the family. But actually, if you look at this word, it's a simple word, but it has a very profound meaning to it. Yeah, and also, Mahira, I would like you to think back to your childhood, particularly in your play, okay? Playing during your childhood time. Can you go back there and think, like, what were you doing, who you were with, and where were you at that point of time?
So, on imagining back through my childhood,
Yes. So with that
usually
image, in your childhood playing moment that you have, like any age that you were in playing.
I'm
We need to go
thinking
back.
around 8, 9, 10 years old, and it's usually with other
Okay.
children or with my
Mm-hmm.
cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And it involves a lot of physical activity, running
Mm-hmm.
around,
Okay. Okay.
additional
So
with
with that,
toys.
all right. So you have all the holistic of everything, the toolkits that there with you, right? But being outside with nature and all that, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes. And how are you feeling now, going back, thinking about your childhood
it was really
playing?
fun.
Okay. All right. So with that image in your head right now, can you give a score to it out of 10?
Oh, whoa. Okay, let me think. Out of 10. In terms of enjoyment or fun or
No, it's just the play. Out of 10,
play?
can you give me a score?
Uh, 8 and above? 8, 9?
Okay, you made a score to it because you enjoyed your childhood play session, right? But
Yeah.
actually, there is no a score to it, because play is play. There is no good play. There is no bad play to it.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a thing that when you actually, it's a play. We're just playing, you see. So, but increasingly at this point of time, yeah, we seem to be getting back play, taking back the beautiful of the simplicity of play, turning it, wrapping it in jargon that makes sense to us as adult, and trying to make it grow up for the child. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is what we are doing now, like how you rated your play in childhood was 8 over 10, which means you really enjoyed your childhood play, right? Nowadays it's different because we are being very structured with the play. Okay, so play is actually very simple. It's a form of, we can even use the word, it's childish, it's even silly, but beyond all that, it is what we see, what the child is playing here. So if you notice this picture here, Mahira, what do you see here? Can you, Mahira?
hello? Sorry, it was muted.
Hello, can you hear? Yeah.
Yes, again. Sorry, it was
Okay.
muted. Just
Yeah.
checking that you're still on the second slide, is it,
Yeah.
Nikunta?
Yeah. This picture here that you can you see the three pictures over here with the two kids playing and
Right.
some toys?
Yep. So I do see that there's a lot of
Okay.
objects,
Mm-hmm.
specific toys laid out, different shapes and
Mm-hmm.
sizes and colors.
Okay, all right. If you notice the picture with these two kids here, can you see that they are just very focused in their play?
Yes, they do look
They
very
are
focused.
not looking around. They are just, looking at the sand tray, and you can see the figurines, the superheroes there are all basically they're dead, and they are, just into their world in it. Okay. The screen is full, right?
On my end, it says the PowerPoint itself, not in full screen.
I've already put the, wait, okay. So,
Am I? Do try again.
yeah, hold on. I am sharing the whole thing. Okay, hold on. There's a technical
Yep, no
glitch there.
worries. Apologies to everyone having some technical
Yeah, I'm
difficulties
sorry.
here.
Yeah.
It's all right. Okay. So just now was
Is it?
frozen. Yes, so it's
Okay.
still
So is
on
it in the full
PowerPoint.
screen? Yeah.
Not yet. I still don't see full screen yet. Yes,
Is
go
it full
ahead.
screen now? Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, so if you can see, kids actually, when they get into their play, they go into their zone of just being there. They will not even be worried if you are around watching or, doing things, because they will be so intense with their play.
Sorry,
And as you can
just
see,
saying, can you put it full screen still? It's still small
it,
on
it,
my end.
it is full screen.
On my end, it's still it's the small PowerPoint. Maybe could enlarge it then, since it's not able to do full screen on my end.
It is on full screen, actually. Is it on full screen now?
Hold on, yeah, it's a bit frozen on
Yeah.
my end. Yeah, just trying to make this the best way. So far, not yet. Maybe you can try to minimize and maximize it first.
I did that. But is it on full screen?
So far on my end, not yet. So can you try to, yeah, press the slideshow now?
It's
It could be the internet being unstable.
is it on full screen now?
So far, not on my end. On your end, you can see it's fine, huh?
Yeah, it's full screen on my end here, actually.
I see. Okay. I think it's all right. You can just share it as well on the PowerPoint slide. Can carry on with that still.
Okay, maybe hi. Okay, sorry.
So sorry, everyone. We're just trying to handle these technical issues.
Yeah, okay. Mm,
Okay, perhaps can, yep, have a go on that.
Okay,
So I am seeing the PowerPoint slide
the small screen,
itself.
right?
Yes, on
Okay.
the
Now
small screen.
is it big now?
Not yet. It's still the same somehow. Let's see. Perhaps you can
Okay, I think we
zoom a
will
bit.
just continue and
Yep, carry on.
yeah. Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay, yeah, let's just continue. No worries.
Okay. Right, okay. So yeah, as you can see, the kids are basically very focused when they play. So you can see there are a lot of chucking of, the marbles inside, It's however they want to put it. And whatever toys or what we say, we call it as toolkit, okay? Whatever that they are using, it may not be what we think it is, because in their play, it will be different. Okay, that means they will use their own the toys will actually be a different meaning to them. It will not be like, for example, here, the dinosaur that we see. You see, I'm seeing a dinosaur, but for the child, it can be something else. So what we see on the surface, actually, what many of us tend to do, we tend to interpret what they are doing. Okay, but beyond all this, what underlines here is that the way that they approach to play is that they actually get very physical towards it. Okay, while they are playing in group, the social development will develop. And then their imagination. Okay, now many a times people, I mean, like these kids who are going through treatment, okay, sometimes they sometimes they do not know, or they have already lost track of storytelling, and because they are no longer in school, they are taking off from school to do their treatment here. So what happens in play here, they actually foster the imagination. They come back again indirectly. They actually learn from it, and they come up with stories, using the figurines and the figures that they use. With that, they also learn to not make mistakes, or they learn from the mistakes, and they also form the relationship. So if they make something wrong or they do something wrong there, they tend to say sorry, or they realize they've done something wrong. And of course, emotionally, it regulates. Emotionally, it also gives them the avenue to express out how they feel. Yeah, so the underlining of play is not what we see out there.
Apologies, everyone. We're just trying to make sure that the PowerPoint is accordingly on the right track as well. So do bear with us as we try to do this technical difficulty.
Okay, hi, Mahira. I think due
You're
to
right
the
there?
technical due to the technical difficulties here that we are having, the challenges, could we just get the Mandarin session first and then we will come back later?
No problem.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sita. So apologies for that very much, everyone. It's not expected on our end, but we will try our best to get that going again. In the meantime, we shall pass this on to the Mandarin session first before we come back to the English session. And with that, I will pass it along to my colleague, Charlie, who will be moderating the Mandarin session. To you, Charlie.
Okay, thank you, Mahira. 大家好，欢迎收看今晚的直播，我是嘉煌，也是今晚的主持人。开始之前，我这里就有个问题想问大家：上一次你和你的孩子在一起玩的时候是多久了？你还记得上一次小孩在玩的时他们脸上的笑容吗？我知道现在的父母很早就让他们孩子就接触电脑、平板或手机，也因此减少了和孩子一起玩乐的时候。但是其实你知道吗？游戏在亲子关系里是很重要的呢。因为它扮演的不只是你们关系的桥梁，也是一个很好的机会让你们互相了解。也因此，今晚就邀请到了心理治疗师 Michelle 来和我们一起谈如何通过如何通过游戏来了解您的孩子。欢迎 Michelle。
Hello，大家。谢谢 Charlie 的Charlie 嘉煌的介绍所以呢，就像嘉煌所说的，今天我们会讨论的题目呢是如何通过游戏去更加了解你的孩子。
是的。关于今晚的课题，如果大家有什么疑问的话，可以在直播下方留言。如果时间允许的话，我们也会让 Michelle 来一一解答的。好的，这样我就把时间交还给 Michelle。
好，谢谢你。在开始前呢，嘉豪，我想问你，当你看到游戏这个词，你会联想到什么呢？
如果看到这张图的第一个印象，我想到的是欢乐，跟朋友之间的一种互动。
对，都是一个开心的一个互动，像你所说的。对，其实游戏这个词看起来是很简单，但它却在小孩子的成长和学习中扮演着非常重要的角色。比如说从肢体语言到他们的人际关系，小孩他们都可以从游戏或者是玩耍中学习到这一些。那我们今天就会更深入的去了解如何利用游戏去看他们的互动，跟别人的互动，或者是他们对整个环境的了解之类等等的。OK， 所以当小孩玩游戏时，我们所看见的他们的想法或者动作，可能就像这一座冰山这样子。所以游戏你看到就是浮在那个冰山海面的那一层，所以是比较明显的。当他们玩游戏的时候，我们就可能大人就觉得他们就在玩游戏了。可是其实呢，内层里面呢还有很多事我们是还没有发现的。所以通过观察，如果用心的观察去观察孩子的玩耍方式，其实我们可以更了解他们。比如说他们时常把那些潜意识或者是欲望或者是他们的愿望都投入在他们玩的，比如说火车或者是他们玩在游乐场玩耍的时候，或者是沙箱中。 父母可以试着去观察和注意，可能你们现在就会想注意些什么呢？其实呢，最重要的就是注意儿童的参与和别人的互动，还有他们回应游戏的方式。比如说，他们在玩的时候，肢体的互动和别人的社交方式，还有他们的情绪管理方面的问题。比如说，可能那个孩子会容易发脾气没有啊，在玩耍的时候。所以你可以看到他情绪管理方面会不会有正面的成长或者是发育。而且呢，在游戏我们也可以培养孩子的想象力或者是创造力。最后呢，我们也可以让他们在错误中学习，并且建立友谊的关系，或者是人与人之间一种比较密切的关系，都是可以通过游戏那里建成的。所以其实呢，在游戏中呢，除了提升这一些，我们也可以提升他们的多任务处理，因为我们都知道，在玩游戏时，小孩在玩游戏时，他们不是只是注重在一个任务，可能是很多任务，所以可以看到他们多任务处理的能力，或者他们的协作能力等等。
其实我是非常
OK，
赞同
所以接下来呢
Michelle你讲的那一点，就是很多时候我们不只是做父母，也是身为孩子，我们很多时候我们都注意到表面上的游戏罢了，我们却忘记底下孩子他们玩游戏的当下的那种心底，他们的那种心理的感受，或者他们之间的互动，我非常赞同。
对，没有错。所以可以通过游戏这一方面呢，更容易的深入对他们的了解。所以很多时候呢，作为父母的你是否知道，其实孩子与你一起玩游戏是他们最重要的活动之一。嘉豪，我想问你，其实你对这个有什么想法吗？
说实话啦，其实我不知道，因为我还不是作为父母，但是我曾经是小孩子，也是很喜欢和父母一起玩游戏，尤其以前是还没有电子游戏的时候，我们都会吵父母买玩具给我们。但是讲实话，现在我才想到，就是讲在你问到我，我才会去想为什么游戏那么重要呢？
对，就好像我刚才所说的那样，因为通过游戏呢，家长和子女他们的沟通会增加，因为通过游戏他们一定会有交流，一定会有讨论不同的东西。当他们的交流沟通增加了，也会有更多的共同语言。它不但可以改善家庭关系，而且这样的互动、陪伴，而且了解，也在孩子各方面的发育带来正面的影响，尤其是以下这些。所以你可以看到，它会提升不同的能力啊，或者是技巧，甚至自我关怀。所以小孩子在这方面呢，可能他会更了解自己，更懂得自己怎么去保护自己啊。因为有些游戏可能跟其他小孩子他会试着去看一下怎么去礼让，所以你看道德品行方面也是会有一些增进。就像我刚才说的情绪管理，还有社交互动，这些都是不同的领域方面呢，可以通过游戏去增进的。Okay. 所以呢，当父母可以更了解，可以通过游戏更了解，或者是确认孩子的情绪时，这个好处呢，其实有很多。第一呢，就是如果你越了解你孩子，你会发现你的孩子会越少对你发脾气，因为他可能会觉得你接纳他的情绪啊，你了解他的情绪，所以他不需要因此而对着父母发脾气，或者是挑战父母的耐心，反而他们会更愿意的去接受你给的新的指示，或者是学着如何去控制心情或者情绪，甚至行为。
这样子，Michelle 有一个问题想要问你，那身为父母要如何去了解和体会游戏中的孩子呢？
其实呢，很多时候呢，尤其是小孩子他们在玩游戏时，很多大人啊或者是父母，他们都会不太了解他们玩耍的方式，因为怎样说，小孩子的世界跟大人的世界怎样都是有一些的差别，所以可能大人要融入在小孩子的游戏或者是玩耍的方式，其实还蛮难的，因为 像我刚才所说，他们不仅只是一次只做一件事情，他们是在探索不同的东西。你可以把小孩想成是一个科学家，所以很多时候他们都是同时研究或思考着多种的事物，而且他们可能会把世界看成或者是他们的周围环境看成是他们的实验室，所以他们会去尝试不同的东西，或者是去探索不同的新的事物。所以我觉得父母或者是大人，你和小孩子互动时，最重要呢，你要带着一个好像他们的实验室助理的那种心态，和他们一起玩。最重要是让他们带头，让他怎么说呢？就是带领你去这个探索的旅程，你可以把它想成这样你可以问他们问题，并且帮助他们进行不同的实验。如果能够的时候有对的时间的话，你可以发表你的意见，帮助他们更加了解他们正在解决的一些问题，或者是探索的一些事情。所以很多时候在和他们玩的时候，大人或者是父母通常很直接的，他们会问小孩子你在玩什么啊？这是最直接的一些问题了。或者是如果你可以看到这个图的话，你可能会直接说，哇，你是不是在建设一个建筑工地啊？或者是你在建什么啊？它看起来像一个游乐场。其实你问这些问题都 OK，但是呢，可是你会发现到，如果你仔细的看的话，这3个问题其实有多多少少大人或父母，如果你问这些问题的话，你好像把自己的想法有一点加强进去。比如说很快的你就好像觉得小孩子是在玩，可能他不是在玩，可能他是在观察。所以你看到你把你自己的想法已经加进去了。所以如果可以的话呢，可以以一个更加开放的方式去问小孩一些问题。所以我会建议大家问的父母或者是大人在游戏中你可以问小孩的问题有我想知道你正在做什么。所以你不要很直接的说他们在玩，可能他们在观察，可能他们就纯粹是在做别的东西。所以你可以问他，用开放式的方法问他你正在做什么啊？因为你觉得看起来很有趣。或者是呢，你注意到某一些东西，你也可以表达出来。所以比如说看着这个图的话，你可能可以说我觉得您在这里用不同的形状的物品建造了一些什么东西，你可以和我分享下吗？所以你看就是以一个比较开放式的一个方法去表达你自己还有跟小孩互动。
谢谢你，Michelle。刚刚你所提到2种发问的方式，让我觉得很有趣。但是但对于这个2种不同的方式，他们还有什么不同之处吗？
像我刚才所说的其中一个重点，我觉得我也重复了蛮多遍了，就是说这2个方法比起来的话，这2个发问的方法比起来的话，第二个方式就是我们现在所看到的这个方式的话呢，问题的问法是比较开放些，就是开放的让小孩表达他们自己，还有尽量不要把自己的想法加强给小孩。来举一些我们比较常见的一些例子和大家分享。比如说如果孩子跟你说我很害怕，很多时候大人就会直接说没有什么好怕的啦，不要担心。又或者如果小孩跟你说，或者你的孩子跟你说我觉得这个很无聊，可能大人就是为了要鼓励孩子多尝试，他们就会说这里其实很好玩啊，你可以试下玩这个或者是那个等等的。又或者我觉得另外一个 Charlie 那边可能你可以回答我，如果当一个小孩子他在你前面哭闹的时候，你会跟他们说些什么呢？
如果我还没有试过这样子的一个情境但是如果是我的话，我就会告诉他，这是我自己本身的反应不代表你的立场不代表这个节目的立场。就我觉得小孩子不要哭，就是会尽量的安慰他，给他一些很舒服的感觉，就是为了让他不要哭。
了解。所以很多时候呢，就好像Charlie，其实你的这个答案，我觉得很多人都会用这个方法，就是很快的就会 试着去安抚那个小孩子，叫他不要哭之类的。但是呢，从这些回应的方法或者回答的方式呢，反而小孩子他会觉得他的感觉，他的心情不断的被否定。就比如说他现在在害怕，然后父母或者是他的长辈就叫他你不要怕，看，所以就好像是一个否定了。所以就像查理你说的，如果有一个小孩子在你面前哭，你就会叫他别哭，所以就像是一个否定的一个感觉。所以当孩子有这样子的感觉的话呢，他时常就会感到会很困惑，他会觉得好奇怪啊，我明明就是还在很伤心，为什么我父母叫我不要哭？对，所以他们可能就会很愤怒，因为他觉得周围的人不太了解他，所以反而我相信父母或者是长辈们当跟小孩相处的时候都会有这一个经验，就是当你叫那个小孩不要哭的时候，他反而哭得更大声，因为他就是要让你知道其实我是很伤心，为什么你会叫我不哭？难道你听不出吗？那我就哭大声一点给你听。所以当我们不断的暗示小孩子不要相信自己的感受时呢，聊天或者是他们的互动就无法顺利的进行下去。所以如果父母想更了解孩子，就一定要忍耐住想批评的那个冲动，或者是想阻止他们发泄情绪的那个冲动，反而应该多听孩子的理由，引导他们把话说完。我觉得那个会是比较好的一些建议，大家可以或者是身为父母的你们可以去试着用朝这个方向去更加了解你的孩子。
谢谢Michelle，刚你所提到的那个情形或者例子是真的很经典。但是除了这些例子之外，当问孩子问题时，还有什么需要注意的地方吗？
其实呢，我会说，我们很时常问别人为什么。我觉得当你跟小孩子互动的时候，如果可以的话呢，尽量不要问他们为什么，因为孩子很大的可能都会回答你不知道。当孩子问你不知道的时候，你就不知道怎么继续那个话题都不懂怎样继续聊下去。所以如果可以的话呢，你与其问他们为什么，可以的话就试着用孩子的角度去看那个问题，尽量了解你的孩子的感受，利用他们就是用他们的理解方式去引导他们，扩展他们的想象力。我可以给大家其他的一些例子，比如说如果当你和你的孩子玩一个，比如说好像这个图片的一个小屋子，然后你可以问他，你观察，我觉得最重要就是把你观察到的东西和他们说，让他们来引导你。Alright， 因为我觉得游戏这一个活动呢是双方面的，所以用这个图来做例子就好了。所以比如说父母或者是长辈和小孩子玩，你可以问他，我观察到屋子里有不同的人，他们正在做什么？谁将住在这个屋子里？如果你将那个家私从房子拿出来后会摆放在哪里呢？所以你会看到用不同的问题去引导他们，让他们就提升他们的想象力、创造力，这样子让他们学习如何去表达他们自己。
这是我非常赞同你所讲的，就是玩游戏是双方面的一个活动。我觉得除了让孩子用自己的想象力在玩游戏时，父母在这个交流方面也扮演这个很重要的一个角色，所以这是父母可以注意的地方啊。在进入问答环节之前 ，Michelle， 你还有什么话想和我们的观众说呢？
其实呢，最重要呢，就是当你和孩子玩时，我觉得最重要的那个部分还是父母可以试着去塑造一个轻松、欢乐还有创意的一个环境，让他们自在的玩乐和学习。因为讲明是游戏玩耍，那轻松欢乐这些元素是肯定不能少的。所以如果可以的话，有时间的话融入他们，参与他们的游戏，有趣的和他们玩在一起， 我觉得那个是最重要的。
好的。刚刚我们所讨论的课题很多时候都是以一般小孩为例啊，但是有些特殊小孩，例如过动儿或者自闭儿，又要如何与他们一起玩啊？和他们玩在一起呢？
如果是那些比较就像你说的一些的特殊小孩，比如说过动儿、自闭儿呢，我会说根据那个小孩的需求，其实每个小孩都有他们自己的需求，因为有些小孩他们可能会对某一些事情会比较敏感，或者是不太感兴趣，所以针对他们的需求是很重要的。所以如果他们需求是这一些，我们就利用我们所对他的了解来编排那个游戏的方式、玩耍的方式。可是如果家长们或者是长辈们想更了解有关可能自闭儿或者是过动儿的一些如何跟他们互动的一些方法呢，我觉得可能可以询问专业人士，你甚至可以拨打我们的热线，我们也是有专业人士可以提供一些意见的。
除了这个问题之外，我也是有另外一个问题是代表某些观众，他们也想要问，因为我觉得现在这个问题也是目前我们会常常面对的啦，就是很多现在的小孩都会比较选择玩电游或者电脑、平板。如果这样的话，父母又要如何与他们互动呢？
其实父母呢可以和孩子一起玩电动了，如果父母不介意的话，因为这样还蛮多父母会说尽量不要玩这么多电动，就会叫小孩尽量不要玩这么多电动游戏或者是电脑。我觉得最重要是一起共同的去玩乐，互相了解。我本身觉得电脑其实也是一个很好的平台，但是如果父母呢还是不太想孩子一直对着手机或者是电脑荧幕，父母可以根据孩子的兴趣、小孩的兴趣来得到他们的注意力。当你得到他们的注意力的时候呢，其实事情就已经成功了一大半了。所以你剩下需要做的呢，就是继续鼓励他们参与不同的活动或者是游戏，让他们扩展自己的能力啊，或者是学习不同的东西。对。
好的，非常感谢 Michelle 的分享，也感谢大家的收看和支持，希望大家有一个美好的晚上，我们下次再见。
谢谢嘉煌。
谢谢 Michelle。
嗯。
Okay. Thank you for that, Michelle. We had some technical difficulty initially for the English session, and now we will try again. So I will pass this session back to my colleague, Mahira, to moderate the English session again. Mahira, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Charlie, for passing on, and thank you, Michelle, for the Mandarin session. So we will try again. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen. Welcome back to the session today. Understand your child through play. Second try. So I invite our guest speaker for today, Miss Sita, to join us and give us the talk for this session this evening. So in regards to understand your child through play, this topic is not just relevant for parents who have children with cancer, but all parents with children who hope to understand them better. And Miss Sita is our very own play therapist from National Cancer Society of Malaysia, has a very important role in engaging with children who have cancer. So Miss Sita, you may share your screen.
Yeah, hi. Okay, sorry about that just now.
No worries. Okay, I do see the PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, okay.
Just looking for the full screen function.
Yeah.
Maybe at the bottom, if I'm not mistaken, unless this is a different program.
It's a different program, it's not.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's either I'm okay. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Okay,
excellent.
yeah. So we were actually we got cut off here with the technical issue just
No
now.
worries.
Yeah, so as you can know, kids actually, when they are playing, they go into their zone. They are already in their zone, they're already in their world, they are basically very focused with what's going on with the toolkit that's given there. And as you can see, actually, like if you look at this part of the sand tray, you can see there's a lot going on there. And this is what the kids will do. They will chuck, they will throw, they will do everything inside there just to express out what is the underlining that is going on here. But this is what we are not seeing. So many a times parents or even like, like caregivers and all, they are seeing what's happening up here only. And they feel like the child is just, the child is just playing and it doesn't make sense, right? But what's happening actually underneath is this. They are regulating themselves. Okay, emotionally, they are also being very imaginative and creative, especially for kids who are going through treatment where they are on a school break, they are that MC period, they can't go to school. So there are certain things where they can't, write to do their storytelling and all that. So the play session is where they do their storytelling. And this storytelling actually goes very deep into whatever that they are experiencing. And with that, they actually learn from their mistakes as well. Yeah, like how they feel, the way they talk to their parents or how they respond to people, they actually know it by their play. And they also form the relationship with that. And they build, yes, in socially, their development, it will also increase because sometimes they have group sessions. And of course, physically, when they are, banging the drums and all that, it is good for their motor skills. Okay, now the thing here today is actually to allow parents to understand why play is very important, to play with your child. Yeah, so like Mahira, playing with your child is the most important activity, right? Okay. And why? Because this is where it opens up the understanding. This is where social relations are all built. Emotionally, they can get regulated and it will synergize with the other caregiver as well. Okay, spiritually as well, they will know like, okay, certain things I need to respect. Because through play, they will actually get the figurines and they will know that, okay, this thing, I need to respect it. I shouldn't be breaking it and all that. So morally, spiritually, they will actually get into that mode of knowing what to do. And of course, like I mentioned it before, creativity. And when we say caring for themselves, sometimes in play, they actually go very deep knowing what has gone through in their lives. So like just now, Mahira, when you remembered your childhood, your play, and it was really a good play. But for some kids, their childhood play was not a good childhood play. They go through trauma, and kids who are going through cancer is also trauma. It's traumatizing for them because they go through this post-traumatic syndrome, post-traumatic disorder, yeah, and it's equal to even people who are like gone through, it wars or even like, very major kind of events in their life. These kids will experience that post-traumatic syndrome. So with play, they are actually knowing that and they are caring for themselves as well. And of course, physical skills. Okay, these kids, they are going through treatment and all that, they are having problems with their fine motor skills because the treatment will actually, their muscles will not be strong. Okay, likewise, it's not only for these kids, even their siblings who are going through school and the other kids as well. Their fine motor skills as they're growing need to be strong. So through play, that's what they can actually make it strong by squeezing the clay, just playing with the sand, moving the cars, that's already gripping and all that. And of course, with that, the communication comes in, right? But now, how do parents actually connect with these kids when they play? Because many a times what parents do is that they tend to interpret what the child is playing. They tend to tell what the child is playing. The moment the child takes a Lego set, a door or something like a figurine, the parents or whoever will give that, oh, you're taking an aeroplane. So if the child takes an aeroplane, maybe for that child at that point of time, it may not be a plane. It may be something else in his mind. But the moment when you intervene to say, oh, I see you're taking an aeroplane, you're already blocking their expression. So this is where the play will actually make them to, and also get the parents to also teach them on the acceptance once they accept it, and the emotion, the behavior too will in sync, and the feeling of the sensations and everything will come in sync. So it will rotate together rather than only one thing is rotating or the behavior part is rotating. That's where you see their behavior challenges will come up, because the acceptance and the regulation of the emotions are not done there. It's not going in sync. It's not rotating together. Yeah. So when we play, we want to get into the child's world. So when the adults get into the child's world, that's when all three will rotate together. And when these all three are rotating together, the adults synergy, that's adults energy also will rotate in simultaneously together with the child. So both the adult and the child will be in sync. All right. And when they are in sync, this is where communication will open up. So how do adults actually, how do adults get connected to their play? Not saying that it's a senseless play, not saying that, oh, your play is baseless, there's nothing to it, there's no content. Because there are some adults where they say that to the child. Yeah. So how do we do that? Okay. So we have to honor your child's play. The moment you honor your child's play, this happens. Everything will rotate in sync. Okay. So instead of saying, what are you playing? Sometimes when you ask this question, do you get a proper answer? Mahira, have you tried that? Like if you've asked this question to a child, have you experienced of getting a proper answer to it?
Not always.
Not always, yeah.
They just look at me.
Yeah, so sometimes they just look at you like, okay, don't ask me this. Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah, or sometimes they'll say, I don't know, I'm just doing something. They will just say like that, or you don't give them a structured answer like, oh, wow, a construction site. That means you've already blocked their creativity by putting in your perspective of what you're seeing there. Yes, it may look like a construction site to you, but maybe for the child it's not. See? And then don't ask, what are you building? It looks like a playground. Again, you're putting a structured answer to it. So when that structured answer comes in, they already like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to play here. And then you can see the movement. They will move from that center, or they will go and do something else, or they'll go and sit at the couch, not doing anything, because they feel like their space has already been, like someone has already stepped into their boundaries, right? So how do we honor this? So instead of saying all this, try this. Go in a curious mode when you are playing with your child, because remember, we have to go into the child's world, enter and see what they are seeing from their point of view, and then from them bring them out. If they are doing something that you think, if it's aggression is coming in and not, then from there you hold their hands to bring them out differently. So how you do it? By being curious, by saying things like, I am wondering what you're working on. So the child will see that, oh, my parent or this person is actually watching what I'm doing. So the child is being heard. The child is being seen. So this is what the child will actually have in mind. Oh, I am being heard. I am being seen. So because they're wondering what I'm doing. And then you can say, if there's a lot, like you see in this sand tray, you can see that it looks like a lot is happening. Yeah, I would love to know about it. Or help me understand what is happening there. So when you use this word, you're giving that child that allowance. Oh, okay, I'm not being judged with this mess. You're not telling me it's mess. You're not telling me to arrange it this way, but you want to know what's happening. And that's where the child will actually tell out the story. So if it's a story that he's probably watched on TV and he's reenacting that story there, the child will actually tell that. Or if the child is telling the experience of what he or she has gone through in life, their trauma will also be in there. So sometimes they will just say, I don't feel like sharing. If they say that, you don't force them. You say, it's fine. Whenever you're ready to share, I'm always here to listen. I'm always here to know about it. So give them that space. Don't force them when they say that, I don't want to share about it. Don't say that, no, you must share. I asked you already, share it. Sometimes we go into that, tell me, please. We tend to go into that begging mode that the child will already feel unsafe. So your child You honor your child by this way, giving him the respect, giving her the respect, because you are going in a level of the eye to eye. So when you go there, the child is not being that you are up here, because when you're begging or anything, you're still here. Yeah, so the child is looking at you that way. You want to get the child to be with you, so you have to go this way with the child. So you can use words like, I notice that you're building something here with this curved item. I'm curious to find out about it, or can I know what's going on here? Yeah, so these are the things you can actually ask. Okay, more example to honor your child's play would be, I observe the boy is following the giant. Sometimes while they're playing, they may tell that there's a giant here while they're saying, so when you pick that up, you can already say, okay, the giant is there. So I wonder what's going to happen. Or then the child will tell a story, oh, it's just going to follow the giant, or the giant is a friend. The child will give that way. Or you can even ask, who will live in the house you're setting? So if a child is going through, like, comes from a broken family, where there's fights and all that, you will actually see the characters in that house. Who are the characters? They will talk. They will tell, but they will not tell that that's the person, but you will somehow observe the theme that's coming out in there. And then, what do you think will happen if you take the block out of the tower? Sometimes the child will say, I don't know, but then they will try it out. Okay, the question came in, I will try it out to pull and see what's going to happen. Yeah, so this is something that you allow the child to show you what they want. Yeah. Okay, and you can expand your child's play, but what kinds of building do these trucks need? Yeah, where are the people in the car going? So if you give an open-ended question, okay, the child will give you an elaborate expression there. But if you give it like a yes or no answer, then you'll only get yes or no. That's it. All right. Okay. Another thing is, if you notice here that we have not asked the question why, the reason why we don't ask the question why is because some kids will answer it as I don't know. There is no reason to it, or they will say, oh, there's no reason, I'm just doing this. So a question why will never give a proper answer, but an open-ended question will actually give the answer there. So this is why when you want to actually go into your child's play, don't judge the child when the child is playing with something that you think you already know that the item he's taking, he's not seeing it as, like I said, just not like a plane. Let's take that example of an aeroplane. You see it as an aeroplane, but the child may see it as something else. It can be a bird, or it can be something else that it's just the child is looking at. Don't judge to say that it's a plane. Don't you know the plane looks like this? That's already a judgment. Yeah. And then when you are looking at a child's play like this, don't interpret what's happening there. Do not say that, oh, I see there's a construction site going. Maybe it's not a construction site, even though there's a truck or there's a tractor there and all that. It may not be a construction site. Yeah. And sometimes the pretend play that they do, like for example, like kids who are going through treatment, their pretend play will always link into hospitals, rescue. The theme will come up as rescue because they will either use an ambulance, they'll either use the doctor set, the kit, yeah. And also sometimes here would be about food. The theme will be about food because they are not allowed to eat fast food at this point because of the treatment. So sometimes when they come into the room, they become chefs and they're cooking, the different varieties of food there. So the theme is there because I can't eat it. I pretend play that I'm eating this. So that all the toys that you see, we don't say toys, we say the tool. The tools that you're using, yeah, it actually says something because those are their words. They are not like us. We talk with words, but they talk with their toys, with that figurine. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so the most important thing in playing with your child is you just have to be authentically yourself and be silly. Because when you are authentically yourself, you're not being judgmental, this is where your child will connect to you. So the main keyword here, the main key point here is actually to go into your child's world, see it from the point of the child's view. And if there is some trouble going on, from there, we come out of it through play, not through telling him that, oh no, you can't do that because you know this is wrong. Through play, take another character and use that character to teach or to tell them that what is happening or how is it. Yeah, okay. So is there any questions, Mahira? Or
Thank you so much for the interesting talk, Ms. Sita. It's very in-depth and insightful to know that play is not just play for them,
Yeah.
even though it seems so for us.
yeah.
So I do have a couple of questions that came in. For this question, one parent would like to know,
Yeah.
so in today's age of video games and computers, how do we use this technique with the kids, especially when you showed the different tools for the kids? It's very hands-on. It's involves a lot of touching and holding, moving things around, blocks and sand. How is it now when it's more digitalized, where computers, iPads, that's how it is now? It'd be interesting.
Right. It applies the same actually from what you see here, physically that we do hands-on. If it's digital also, when your child is playing, you can actually sit next to the child and ask and tell out the same thing. I'm wondering what you're playing. It looks very, it looks, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of, things flying. Don't put, like I said, don't put a structured word to it, but just say there's a lot of things flying. Can I know about it, or what's really happening? Maybe the child, while he's playing, he'll say, no, Dad, I'll tell you later. It's fine. When the child says like that, it's fine. Let him play the game first, and then he'll come to you and explain, because the child already knows that you're interested to know what he's playing at. So what is happening physically on ground that we're asking this, it can also be applied digitally when they are playing on their iPad or whatever that they're doing there. But always give their space. If they just say, I'll tell you later, okay, you can say, yes, okay, I'll wait for you. I'm looking forward for you to tell me that. So make it, show them that you are waiting, don't say like, okay, and then you go off, because that way they'll think like, oh, my dad or my mom just asked me that and they're not bothered anymore. But if you use words like, I'm looking forward for you to tell me what is it about, the child will come back running and shoot, telling, oh, this is a game, it plays like this, there's this gunman here and we need to shoot this, they will all tell that. So it can be applied in the same manner as well.
I see. Okay. Thank you for answering that. I think our session is just about up based on the timing, but perhaps you could share with the audience or anyone else if they do have any further questions, how they can reach out, find out more specifically about this topic.
If you are needing more information on this to go in depth, please do not hesitate to call us in our hotline number of 1-800. Hold on, it's here, I've written here. The hotline number of 1-800-88-1000. All right, so just get in touch with us and we'll get back to you, giving you more detail on how to play with your kids and how to get into their world.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Rita, for your time.
Thank you, Mahira, and thank you for all who are watching us and being with us here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all for joining us tonight. This is for the live session, and you can stay tuned and play back the Malay session as well as the Mandarin session in the same video. So have a good evening and have a good weekend. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you. Bye.